You know what is an event? An event is one or more outcomes of an experiment. You can say that an event is a set of one or more outcomes of an experiment. So it can be defined using sample points also, because each sample point constitute to form the sample space, that is the total number of outcomes. So an event can be described as one sample point or more sample points of an experiment. So an event can be classified according to that. Now if one event, or say if an event is defined as the set of only one outcome or one sample point, it will be regarded as an elementary event. And if it is defined by more outcomes or more than one outcomes or more than one sample points of an experiment, then it will be regarded as a non-elementary event. Let's see what it is. An elementary event is when an event is defined by one outcome or one sample point. It is called an elementary event. Let's see from the example where we have India versus Australia cricket match at Eden Gardens. Okay. So what will be the possible outcomes of this experiment? Can you tell me? Well, the possible outcomes will be what? India can win, Australia can win, or a draw match. Now let's see these events where India wins the match. Now if I want to take out the probability of India's winning the match, what information do I require? I require the information of India's winning. So I need only one sample point, that is number 1. Now when I want to see India does not win the match, what will be the probability that India will not win the match? Then we have to look at two outcomes. How does India not win the match? Either Australia can win or it can be a draw match. So I have to look at number 2 where Australia wins, or number 3 when there is a draw. So this event is defined by two outcomes, number 2 and number 3. Now let's see the third event. Australia does not win the match. Now when will this event take place that Australia does not win? Either India can win or it can be a draw match. So either number 1 or number 3. So again, to describe this event, we are taking two outcomes, number 1 and number 3. Now, among these 4 events, which are those events that are defined by only one outcome or one sample point? Well, this one and this one, these purple highlighted ones, only these two events are defined by only one outcomes, number 1 and number 3. They are considering only one outcomes. So only this event and this event will be known as elementary events. Now what about non-elementary event? What did I tell you? When an event is a combination of two or more outcomes. Now we have finished with an event which is done with one outcome or one sample point. That is called elementary. Now the rest that have a combination of two or more outcomes, they will be known as non-elementary or compound event. Again, we take these examples where we have the possible outcomes of India and Australia, a cricket match at Eden Gardens, where India can win, Australia can win, or there can be a draw match. So we can see that among the 4 events that India wins the match, India does not win the match, Australia does not win the match, or there is a draw match. Among these events, these two are the events which are taking into consideration two combinations of outcomes. Where India does not win the match, we have to look at the points. Australia wins and draw. For this event to take place, there can be two outcomes or two sample points. Australia can win or a draw match. Similarly, for Australia does not winning the match, either India can win or it can be a draw match. So again, this event is taking into consideration two sample points or two outcomes. So these two events which are taking into consideration two outcomes or more than two outcomes will be known as non-elementary event. And the rest two which are taking only one outcome as a definition, then they will be known as elementary event. Now you are familiar with elementary and non-elementary event. We'll see two more events like this. Now, suppose if today is Monday, what is the chance that tomorrow is Tuesday? Well, this is an obvious question. If today is Monday, tomorrow has to be Tuesday. So we can say that there is a 100% chance of Tuesday being after Monday. So this is probable. That is, the probability is 100%. So this is a sure event. You can say that I am sure that tomorrow will come after Monday. Now, not only you, if you ask anyone, they will say that they are completely sure that Tuesday will come after Monday. So this is a 100% chance. We can say that this event is a sure event. We all are sure about it, that if today is Monday, then tomorrow will be Tuesday. So this event can be classified as a sure event. Now, what is the chance that tomorrow is Friday? Today is Monday. Now, what is the chance that tomorrow is Friday? Well, if you ask anyone, they will say you that there is 0% chance that tomorrow is Friday. Why? Because everyone knows that Tuesday comes after Monday. There is no chance of Friday coming after Monday. This is a fact. So, there is 0% chance. So, I am sure that this is an impossible event. This event cannot take place. So, this event will be classified as an impossible event. So, the events which have 100% chances to occur will be known as sure events. And the events which have 0% chances to occur will be known as impossible events. So now you know 100% chances means sure event, 0% chances means impossible events. Now can you tell me any more examples of sure events and impossible events? Well, what about rolling a dice? Well, what about rolling a die? What happens when you roll a die? You know that the possible outcomes will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6, any of these 6. So I am sure that I will get a number less than 7. Are you sure about it? Well, yes, if I roll only one die, I know that the outcome I'll get has to be less than 7 because no face of the dice contains a number 7 or more than 7. So I am sure about this, that rolling a die and getting a number less than 7 is a sure event. Now what about rolling a die and getting a score of 7? When you roll a die, can you think that I'll get a number 7? No, because I know when we roll a die, it contains a number 1 to 6. I do not have a face which has the number 7. So rolling a die and getting a score of 7 has 0% chances to occur. So this is an impossible event. So now you know the difference between a sure event and an impossible event. Now let's take an example. We have a box here that contains 3 chocolates, a 5-star, a perk and a Kit Kat. Now one chocolate has to pick randomly from the box. Now we have taken 3 events here. There can be n number of events, but we have taken 3 events here. When the chocolate picked is a perk, the chocolate picked is not a perk, and the chocolate picked is a Snickers. Now first of all, if we are having 3 chocolates in our box, a 5-star, a perk and a Kit Kat, what can we do? We can find out the possible outcomes that we get after picking out the chocolate. What will be the possible outcomes? It can be a 5-star, it can be a perk, or it can be a Kit Kat. Now what will be the sample space? Well, sample space is what we call possible outcomes. So the sample space S is 5-star, perk and Kit Kat. Now we have numbered 5-star as 1, perk as 2 and Kit Kat as 3. Now let's connect it with the events here. Now the event A here is the chocolate picked is a perk. So what do we take into consideration? We have to take number 2. When we are considering this event, event A, the chocolate picked is a perk. So we take the sample point 2 as consideration when we are considering the event A. Now what about event B? The chocolate picked is not a perk. In what cases will you take out the chocolate and it will not be a perk? Well, if the chocolate picked is not a perk, it can be a 5-star or it can be a Kit Kat. So again, for this event, we have 2 outcomes. For event A, the chocolate to be a perk, we had only one outcome, that was number 2. So let's write it as number 2. The chocolate picked is not a perk could give us 2 outcomes, either 5-star or either Kit Kat. So we can write number 1 or number 3. Now the third event is a bit strange. The chocolate picked is a Snickers. Well, in our box, do we have Snickers? No, I can see in my box I had a 5-star, a perk and a Kit Kat. So picking out the Snickers is out of the box actually. So the chocolate pick cannot be Snickers. It is what? An impossible event. So for this event, no sample space or no sample points in the sample space is useful to us. So we do not have anything here. You can see for event A, we needed only 1 sample point. For the event B, we can expect 2 outcomes or 2 sample points. And for the event C, we do not have any outcomes matching to this event. So based on the sample points used here, can you classify these events? Well, all these 3 are events. You can have to classify them according to elementary, non-elementary, impossible and sure events. Tell me, what are they? Well, based on the sample points, I know that elementary events is an event when an event is defined by only 1 sample point or only 1 outcome. So I can see that this event is defined by only 1 outcome. So this is an elementary event. What about the event B? I can see that this event is defined by 2 outcomes. So it will be regarded as non-elementary event. What about this one? This one is defined by no outcome. And we know that if in a box we are having 5-star perk and Kit Kat, there is no chance of getting a Snickers. So this is an impossible event. Now can you tell me, in what event would we get a sure event? Well, I can say if my box has 3 chocolates, then picking out a chocolate is a sure event, because in my bags I am having 3 chocolates. So if I am getting hold of a chocolate, it has to be a chocolate, then that would be a sure event. So you know the difference between now elementary event, non-elementary event and an impossible event. Well, events can be classified into elementary event, non-elementary event, sure and impossible events. Let's summarize this up. Well, event is a set of possible outcomes, that is 1 or more possible outcomes of an experiment. Elementary event is an event which can be defined by only 1 outcome or only 1 sample point. Whereas non-elementary is an event, well, an event can be defined by more than 1 outcome, that is a set of or a combination of 2 or more outcomes of an experiment. A sure event is an event that has 100% chances to occur and you are sure about it. An impossible event is an event which has 0% chances to occur that it will, and you are sure that it will not happen.